Hi, my name is Jaki, and for several years I was a marketing professional. I am now a life and leadership coach. In terms of the subjects that I did at school, I was lucky because I was good at both the arts and the sciences, and I opted to do the sciences, chemistry, physics, biology, but I also chose geography and French. When it came to Form 6, I wanted to study economics, but the school that I was attending did not offer economics at A levels. And when I told my parents that I wanted to change schools, they did not support me. And therefore, I stayed and continued with sciences, maths, chemistry, biology, but also French. I was selected to go for a BSc chemistry at the University of Nairobi, but I opted to change because at that point, I really felt that sciences were not for me. And so I changed to education, went and did my Bachelor of Education in French at the Kenyatta University. I taught French first as a part-time teacher at two different schools, and then as a full-time teacher before I went back to do my master's. By the time I was doing my master's, I sort of knew that I didn't want to go back to the classroom. And luckily for me, after my graduation, I had also taken up some classes in Spanish. And while I was doing my master's, I got a job working for a Spanish NGO, Médicos Sin Fronteras. So these languages actually worked for me, even though I never really did a job using my languages. The languages helped me to get certain jobs. When I finished my master's, I had sort of decided now that it probably made more sense for me to go into human resources, and I applied for a job as a human resource officer. But the organization that interviewed me offered me a job in marketing instead, because they said that I had the qualities that they had been looking for somebody to do marketing. And I recognized this as an opportunity to finally get into the commercial sector, which is where I always wanted to be when I first showed an interest in doing economics. I was a marketer for more than 20 years, starting off, doing promotions at markets with the sales team, going on to become a brand manager, a marketing manager. And by the time I left the corporate world, I was a general manager of a multinational company covering several countries in Africa. In terms of the trajectory of my career, one of the things that is very clear is that as you go higher up in the organization, you need to acquire more and more skills that are not necessarily specific to your profession. So as a general manager, I had to acquire human resource management skills. I had to have a very good understanding of legal concepts. I was dealing with contracts. I was dealing with labor laws in different countries. I had to have a good grasp of financials. I was signing off financial reports for my organization, and this is a very important personal responsibility with possible legal repercussions. A lot of people think that marketing is just a fun job, but there is a lot of number work, if I may put it that way. You need to understand pricing because marketers are usually responsible for setting pricing for their products, which also means you have to understand what goes into producing the product that you're selling or the service that you are selling. Marketers also need to work with numbers when they are making reports to demonstrate return on investment. Marketers need to understand an element of psychology so that they can understand their consumers, people who use their products, people who buy their products, that is behavioral psychology, so that they are better able to target their products. So if you're wanting to go into a marketing career, remember that this doesn't mean that you don't have to be good at maths. This doesn't mean that you don't have to be interested in some aspects of the sciences. But of course, this also doesn't mean that if you're not a perfect scientist or you're not perfect in maths, you cannot do marketing. Just consider that you will probably need to do some of those things. And there's also a lot of, sort of rolling up your sleeves and doing certain types of work, especially when you're starting your marketing career. You might find that you have to be sorting out t-shirts and distributing them. You might be going to places where branded materials are being produced so that you can supervise. So there's a lot of activities that you do in marketing which are not just about, putting out advertising or, having nice commercials about the products that you sell. I did enjoy my career. And everything that I learned, whether it's the sciences that I did in high school, whether it is the education degree that I started off with, whether it's the additional degrees and additional diplomas that I studied, I think that all of them have come together to help me become the coach that I am today. So in conclusion, I can just say that sometimes you don't take a straight road to wherever you want to go. In my case, it was not a straight road to end up in commercial, but looking back, I realized that everything that I learned was useful. Thank you very much, and all the best as you make your career choices.